We're never gonna make it through this script. Hi everyone, welcome to Black Pants Film School. I'm Kyle C. Sullivan. I'm here with Ian Kahn, my co-writer on big projects. He also wrote a couple of our sketches, including that one Shakespeare one and that one about the guns that probably have names, but I couldn't think of them fast enough.
The best part of both of those are their names.
He also comes up with most of the names for our sketches.
Actually, like my actual writing legacy is almost every single sketch name.
Today we are starting the writing portion of Black Pants Film School, and we decided to start it off by revisiting the first script we ever wrote together called Airsoft. It was a feature-length film that we wrote in high school. We also filmed a trailer.
Oh yeah.
We filmed a spec trailer for this movie that I made for a class.
Yeah.
So I figured we'd go ahead and play that real quick.
Oh my God, why did you shoot me? That was point blank! What are you doing? What is your problem? Oh my God.
Around here, every teenager participates in airsoft wars, and almost every high schooler belongs to some squad. You need to be proficient in hand-to-hand combat, melee weapons, smoke grenades, and your gun. Maintain it, keep it loaded, and never remove the orange tip.
Anyway, it's very bad because it was the first thing we ever did. Like we made this before we made Gary the Misanthrope.
Like
I
this
think.
is Kyle's actual creativity. Like at this time is comic strips.
So we haven't seen this in years. I've had it in my box of scripts for a very long time. So we are just going to crack it back open and see how bad we were. It's long, so we probably will not read it all like page by page.
Is the main character's name Guy Man?
Yes, that we named the main character Guy Man, and we thought that was very funny. What I remember is what it was going to be John playing Guy Man, a high school senior that had to move during his last year, and his neighborhood had this whole weird,
God,
like...
it's just video game high school.
It was video game high school, yeah, but with
Wow.
airsoft. He moved to this weird
Wow.
neighborhood that like had this airsoft league where everybody took it way too seriously, and he was the new guy on like the big team. There is a note at the bottom that says, add in laser Dragon Ball Z fight. I don't know what that meant.
Okay, that better be one of mine.
Alright, we're starting it off. Open on the power button of a computer. It's not an alarm clock, so that's a good start. A finger switches it on and music starts in the background. A hand grabs the mouse. On the screen, a website and a Word document open. Guy Man sits back and studies the screen. The title, application form, is shown, and below it is an essay prompt that says, reflect on a life-changing experience.
Oh, no, I remember this.
So the whole thing's
It's
gonna
a
be
frame
flashback.
story, yeah.
So now we have a narration over over this. So this is gonna hurt me probably because I remember trying to like go deep on some of this stuff.
I'll go deep on the voice.
That's so much worse.
Oh yeah, we can just both agree to be agnostic as to which one of us wrote any of this, right? Like we can just.
That's fair.
We can just.
We'll equally
The
split
blame
the blame
is here, but we don't have to take all of it on ourselves. My life didn't really begin until my senior year of high school. For most of my early years, my philosophy was just to give up. I decided that struggles weren't usually worth the results. In my book, any day that didn't go horribly wrong was a good day.
So I will say that is high school writing. The reason I wanted to do this as our first episode of the writing thing is so that we can critique it as if we're critiquing somebody else's stuff.
That's fair.
I don't have your writing to talk about to you, but I have my own old crappy writing. So, like, first thing right off the bat is don't do any of that.
Yeah.
That's a terrible way to start a movie. What we're literally doing here is padding out our story before it even starts in the story itself.
So, well,
we're not confident enough in the ridiculousness of this world we're building.
Actually, I think this is part of the problem of how writing is taught in high school. In high school writing, it's the hook, right?
Right.
It is this weird, bizarre, disrespectful notion that every person who reads your writing has the actual attention span of like your pet dog.
We start up with guy playing Xbox with his friend who is named TV Robot in this, which is 100% based on my old friend Jay. Guy responds here, okay, I'm coming, and then says, I can't believe I'm going to miss graduating with you guys. That's just like my mom. I have all of 6 weeks left and she has to go and change jobs. And the reason I kind of think this line is important is because I've seen similarly tactless lines make it into finished Hollywood films. Okay, so his mom comes in and she says, hey, sorry, I see you made some progress with the unpacking, sarcastically.
I'll get it later.
Alright, well, I hope you enjoy yourself at school tomorrow. You don't have to be there for very long. Just try to make the best of it.
Okay.
See you tomorrow afternoon. And then scene ends. Oh, I missed a part where she shuts the door and then he throws a shoe at her or something.
That's violent.
Yeah, that's actually like, a little bit more.
If he actually hit her with the shoe, that would be the least funny moment in anything we've ever filmed.
We reopen at the front of
Name withheld.
high school in the morning, accompanied by music. High school students head toward the entrances, as they do. Switch to front side shot of guy walking down one of the hallways, carefully examining the events around him. I may bleep out the high school name when we say it, actually, because that is pretty close to where we used to live. At one point, Guy sees one person picking on a smaller person. Shane charges in screaming and slams the big guy into a locker.
We haven't actually established Shane's size, which makes this scene difficult.
Right.
Because I know we have large man and small man. I presume Shane is medium man.
I guess. I don't know what large man is supposed to be. I guess an 80s bully, because even though we went to...
Name withheld.
I still thought that's what high schools looked like.
Right, it would have been me in my leather jacket, except it wouldn't, it's just literally anybody else in my leather jacket.
As he watches other people, Guy accidentally bumps into Cody Grant, slightly knocking him off balance. Cody turns around to face Guy angrily.
I want to point out that this is how this looks in the script. Kyle has written the word, we have written the word, sorry, and he's crossed out and he now writes, I apologize. Do you?
I was just, you look very angry. Cody advances on Guy a couple of steps until someone grabs Cody's shoulder. Brian.
I think that's Ricky, right?
That was gonna be JP, actually. Come on, man, it's 8:30 in the morning. Save it for this afternoon. So JP's coming in as the cool guy.
Look, it's legitimately
the
the first joke.
It is,
right?
I guess. Is that a joke? Was that supposed to be a joke?
Okay, there are two options here. It's a joke, or JP's like, listen, you gotta allocate your time, beat him up later, alright? You will be more beady-uppy then, you'll have better results.
Cody glares at Brian and Guy and then walks off, followed by some of his minions. So, pretty standard stuff so far. And Brian says, are you new here? I thought I knew everyone.
Oh no, we switched this around.
Oh, you're right, sorry, you do Brian.
I thought I knew everyone. Are you new here?
Yeah, just moved.
Really? The year's almost over.
Yep. How's that for a graduation present?
Well, as long as you're here, you could at least hang out with me and my friends.
So I do want to say that right here in a conversation between two characters while introducing them, we did establish the information that we spent like all those pages before establishing, which again, just go like, just don't do that. Like, just don't sit down and tell the audience what story you're going to tell before you start telling it. Just start showing the events. We switch to a wide shot of the cafeteria during lunch, then to Guy weaving his way through everyone. He eventually sees Brian standing a few feet away, but trips as he moves toward him and drops his tray on Cody. Wah,
Cody! I'm definitely reading Cody as like very, very stylishly like angrily gay.
I think that's honestly a way more interesting take on the character than I had.
It almost certainly is.
And Guy says, oh, as Cody and his group get up and start towards him. Brian moves up from behind, everyone close enough to notice turns to watch. This is just the same school fight scene that's in like every one of these stupid movies.
Okay, Spider-Man gave us a great one though, so like maybe this one could be that great.
Maybe.
It's almost certainly the one you're thinking of.
If they start pulling out like, airsoft guns, then maybe they could be. Okay, but then the camera pans to the side of Cody to show a teacher. It says, hey, so the teacher shows up and ruins anything that could have happened in the first place.
Cut to Guy walking down the street after school. He rounds a corner and a few seconds later, Cody follows. No. Guy does a subtle double take behind him, pretends not to notice, and slowly increases his speed. Look at this car chase. Cody continues to follow semi-casually, telling ya, but fixated on Guy. This is the guy who pushes up his coat sleeves. Guy glances behind him a couple more times. While Guy isn't looking, a gray blur suddenly swoops toward Cody and knocks him behind a bush. Guy hears, looks back and stops. He looks around carefully, sees no one, and quickly heads home. Cut to Guy in his room playing video games.
Okay, now hold on. So we just watched a scene where, as far as we can tell, Cody just got, like, attacked. Like a high school... like boy just got jumped in the street with no witnesses.
It's either a horror movie or like the crime in Wrist of Age is pretty bad. He's back in his room playing video games. The only light comes from the TV. Guy's mom enters with a stack of cloths. Mrs. Mann stands at the door with an aggravated expression. then walks over and pushes the power button on the Xbox.
Hey, you turned off my game.
What was that about developing quick reflexes?
Why did you do that? I was almost to the next rank.
I'm so sorry.
Mom!
Commercial done.
Did this ever happen to you?
I'm telling you, this is just Dear Evan Hansen, but without the music.
Buy shoes. Throw them at your mom.
What is that?
I was continuing the commercial.
Oh, I thought that. Yeah, all right. Guy, this is all you've been doing since we moved in. You still haven't even unpacked these boxes.
I don't want to unpack them. I want to go home.
How do you even remember what home looks like? You never went outside.
Oh, shots fired. What is this?
Why
didn't you turn off my game back then?
I was too busy to pay attention because... Very quick, uncomfortable pause.
No, what's your reason?
No, it's literally very quick, uncomfortable pause. Since very quick is in parentheses, I believe she says the words, new scene. Switch to a wide shot of the front of Guy's house. Guy is pushed outdoor. He collects himself, glares at the door, looks around, glances at his gun, and starts off away from the camera down the sidewalk. Very different shot with the word airsoft removed. Switch to another wide shot of Guy wandering down the sidewalk. A car brushes by him out of nowhere, honking. Switch to Guy hanging his head and arms over the side of a railing. Switch to Guy aiming his gun at a stone pillar. He fires and then doubles over as the bullet ricochets and hits him.
You could just put Guy sucks at being outside montage.
No, actually, really what it is, it's a universe subtly wants Guy dead.
So another thing you're not supposed to do as a professional scriptwriter is include a whole lot of camera direction, because that's supposed to be kind of left open to interpretation for other people on the crew if you're one of those guys.
Two people Guy's age run out from the trees wearing protective gear and holding airsoft guns. They both see him stop and aim their guns at him.
Hey!
This is the wrong thing to do. I guess we're technically... we're in a greenbelt, right? The greenbelt is safe space.
Important context. This was written off of things we actually did in real life with these airsoft guns. This was right before things started really taking a bad turn with like school gun violence and the Black Lives Matter movement and like all that stuff had not happened yet.
Right. We can say it. You were white.
I was also white, and I was in a very white neighborhood.
Right. What squad are you?
What?
What squad are you on?
I'm not playing your stupid game.
Then why are you here? You're gonna get murdered. That piece of crap isn't gonna help you. Referring to Guy's handgun.
It's not a piece of crap.
Yes, it is. Look at it. That's not going to defend you.
And then person 2 chimes in.
It's not really that bad. You actually think that could do anything? Well, I've seen worse. Really? Didn't have Nerf painted on the side? Just saying, it's better than not being armed. This is actually just the Marvel cops. We're kind of like, it's
you're right.
Barely. Look at it. It's a spring-loaded and transparent. The outside doesn't have anything to do with how the gun works. Look, we're ready to triggered.
So it looks like they keep arguing. Guy starts backing away. Then we have a shot of the trees, and the same gray figure suddenly shoots into frame.
A fully wrapped person. Not one of those partially wrapped people you get when they're discounted the day after they've gone bad at the supermarket. Leaps onto the two as they argue. He shoves one over, then fires several plastic bullets into his back from a CO2 Magnum. Bah, bah, bah. Spins around while pulling out a short PVC pipe. Blocks a meager strike from the second person. It hits him several times until he's down. It's like, wah, and then just wails on him until he's bleeding. The camera slows down as the masked man, this is the first time we've heard him, I guess fully wrapped, includes the head.
Yeah.
And flies right at Guy. Guy bends backwards as the man's face comes within a couple inches of his.
This was the Reed character. This was
makes
Hank.
more sense.
I actually just ripped this character straight off of a Newgrounds series. And he was wearing a mask that looked like that and had goggles and stuff. It was going to be like Scott Pilgrim-y before I knew what that was. Where like when it got into the intense fight scenes, it was supposed to go all like crazy Matrix action movie kind of thing, which was supposed to be on purpose because it was such a lame like airsoft sort of thing.
There's a thematic idea there. It's like go play your games in the real world kind of deal, right?
Yeah. It actually kind of worked, I think.
He stumbles through the branches up to a hill. He rushes to the top, watching behind him. Once he gets up to the top, he lifts his head over the top of the hill, staying low. Switch to a panning wide shot of a battle in the clearing. I kind of like the cut to IMAX bars. People are running at each other or crouching behind cover, shooting or fighting hand to hand. One soldier does a double take in Guy's direction and then aims his rifle and fires.
So I think this is like our big reveal shot of like, here's the airsoft fight.
Right.
You know, like this is when we like introduce the concept. He comes over the hill and he's just like, my god, and then it just shows this utter chaos going on behind all these neighborhood suburban houses.
It's not without merit. Guy watches a bullet hit the grass near him with a slightly dazed expression and then jumps back as one hits his hand. He jumps again at the sound of a loud, angry scream. There's so much text.
I know, there's so much scene description in this thing.
Like,
No wonder it's so long.
A large soldier with an automatic barrels over the top of him. If you remember,
a large soldier with an automatic barrels over the top.
Are you
Okay.
familiar with the concept of a garden path sentence?
Yes, where you can't understand it until you go back through it and then back again.
Over the top of the hill and runs straight into the mob, knocking several people over and spraying bullets wildly, which is really the opposite order you want to do those two things in. He's followed a few seconds after by two more people, one with protective glasses, a shotgun, and a belt covered in ammunition and grenades.
I like that we don't explain what they are, we just do grenades in quotes.
Right? And one in full armor with a shield and Uzi. What are the airsoft rules we're using? Is it like hit points, I guess?
I mean, everybody had their own. There weren't ever rules, so I think this one is definitely like to the pain.
To the pain. It's like,
one of the
basically
airsoft
when you go,
rules.
you guys suck. Shane, that guy's not supposed to be here. Shane screams and charges the small group surrounding Guy while his two teammates cover him. The armored guy removes helmet behind his shield, revealing that he's Brian from Guy's school.
Hey,
What are you doing out here?
I have no idea. I was just walking.
Where does Brian allow Guy to exist? He's like, you don't go to this school. He's like, why are you out here in the nature?
Why do you keep just showing up places,
Why
man?
you gotta exist, Guy? As they reach the top, Guy peers out through a gap. In a far wide shot, you can see the crowd part frantically as a large team drops down into the basin area from the bordering yards. A figure drops down with them. It's Cody. I like that they all drop down to the basin. And I get the special cool drop. He pulls his mask down over his face as more of the team, wearing masks painted like skulls, run in from behind, and Guy hits the top of the hill.
Cody is just one of those bad guys that just knows that he's the bad guy and advertises it.
But I think the thing is, like, and this is where I'm kind of getting off his, like, his sort of raucously gay thing going on. It's like, he's got style. Guy skids down the other side of the hill. I like how, like, this was a very difficult hill to get up.
No, he's never been outside before, Ian. He's only used to flat ground.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
He doesn't understand when the ground goes up and down.
Yeah, Guy skids down the other side of the hill and sprints off towards the exit.
What are your initial thoughts so far on this first act of Airsoft?
So, first things, my initial hypothesis that it would be visually interesting, visually well put together. And I think that's coming through.
I think I like the concept so far.
Yeah.
I think like what you said, there are some really interesting themes to work with. I like the idea of people just like going really overboard on this like airsoft thing, but also it being kind of vague whether it's actually as crazy as it's being displayed, or if we're seeing it through their eyes, and that's what they think, that's what they feel like they're doing, right? They're flipping off of trees and like shooting each other.
I like the idea of this green belt setting. It's like, it's got a very distinct entrance, it's got a very distinct exit, and when you're there, everything is different.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I would almost want to do like that, like make it even more visually ridiculous. Like he walks in with like a plastic, you know, gumdrop sort of airsoft gun, and then when he walks in, it turns into like an actual gun or something.
Yeah,
and like, just like hard cuts to an action movie when he enters the green belt.
I would switch this up. I would say he moves after, like, in the middle of junior year summer. Like, the fact that there's only 6 weeks left of school doesn't really do anything for us. Like, we could, that's the same number of montage cuts in that, right?
It just sort of eliminates stakes at that point.
This gives him new friends to start the next year with.
So we're gonna go ahead and stop there for now because this just keeps going for a really long time, and we realize that if we try to make it through the whole thing, this video is gonna be like 2 hours long. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in hearing about more writing stuff in the meantime, go check out Superhero Chicken Fest. It's our podcast where we talk about superhero movies and our opinions on writing them. And we will be back at some point in the future with more of this, or none of it if you don't want us to. Let us know, and have just a swell day. Bye.
Yeah, you do that.
Bye, everybody.
Swell.